Welcome to the Salem TV News Break. I'm your host, Marie Sanders, keeping you informed of what's happening around Salem and around our nation. And we're back, reunited.
And it feels so good.
Oh, Jesus. We've been on vacation.
Simpson.
Is that who that is? Yeah.
We're going to have to look that up.
We got to look that up.
Y'all fact check us on that.
How are
All
you?
right, Valerie. And I'm Nick.
Nick, yeah. It's so good to see you, Pastor.
It's good to be back home here at Salem United Methodist Church on Salem TV.
Yes, we had a week of vacation.
Yeah, some of you saw us. Our last broadcast was from the beach. Did you get our shout out?
I did. I saw my chair. They had my chair sitting there.
Yeah, we had an empty little chair just waiting for you, but you never showed up, so somebody sat in it.
The dog. I'm glad you all enjoyed yourself.
We had a great time, and everyone needs to take a break, you know.
Everyone.
And we've been working so hard, and
Yes.
sometimes you don't realize how hard you've been working until you take a break and you realize, oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff that we're doing.
Exactly.
But it was wonderful, and right before we left, we got a chance to record all of the music for this coming month's
We
worship
did.
service, and it's going to be fantastic. Some of you already know you've been enjoying the youth in the worship service, and believe me, later on this month, it gets better and better and better.
It does. It gets better. I was sitting in my office and I heard some of that singing. I left the desk and had to go in the sanctuary.
I started to get happy.
I did. I really did. It was just amazing because, you know, especially when you see children worshiping and praising God.
Yeah.
And we missed seeing them. So it was
right.
great to have them come in and pre-record and everyone was safe.
Yeah.
They had their masks before they sang, social distancing and
We kept
sanitizing.
everybody apart, and
Yes, we did.
Brother Quillian had done such a wonderful job. Our minister of music, Brother
Yes.
Marcus Quillian, had already prepared the children so well. They had already had their repertoire together. They had just to knock a little rust off, and boy, they just really sounded good.
Really did.
And then we had an opportunity that we don't usually get, is to let them sing with the adults.
Yes.
So this coming Sunday and for the next couple of Sundays, you'll see other mixtures of men's and women's and the youth choir together, and it really is special.
That is so, so great at a time like this. That was so refreshing to see.
Yes.
Yes. So speaking of at a time like this, you know, we're still going through this pandemic of COVID. So, Pastor, it's time. Let's get some stats.
Well, as you can see, I have my West Orange Stark Mustang shirt
Yes.
on because today, as we film on Wednesday, the 12th, is the very first day of classes at West Orange Stark and around the city of Orange and the surrounding areas. So I want to give a shout out to all of the neighboring teachers and students and those folks who are out there trying to just keep education going and here in Orange, Texas. The Bright Sisters are already enrolled in classes here, and they are moving forward with the new curriculum, the virtual curriculum. And of course, it's going to be a challenge to get up and running, but there is no challenge that we cannot meet. And in terms of meeting the challenge, we still have to meet the challenge of our epidemic. The COVID-19 epidemic in our area is still raging. The reason why the Bright Sisters are in virtual school right now, and many of us are still suffering the ravages of this epidemic, is because there have been 523,000 new cases of COVID-19 in the state of Texas. Now that number sounds bad enough, but when you also figure that 9,803 new cases just got on the books yesterday, you can see why it's important for us to find alternative ways to meet the challenges on campus there and at West Orange Stark and at the surrounding school districts. In Orange County, the reported cases, confirmed cases, is up to 1,493 cases. 1,493 new cases in the county of Orange, and that regrettably includes 22 deaths. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means to the church in terms of coming back and worshiping in the sanctuary and going back to schools and integrating. But there are some very important issues out there that I want to bring to your attention, and not the least of which is voting. So, Marie Sanders, with these numbers in mind, we need to inform our members on what we should do next. Of course, they already know to take care of themselves, to stay home if you can, to cover your faces, to wash your hands, to keep your hands out of your face and mouth, and to do those reasonable, good sense things that we've already been doing, because we have kept the epidemic number low here at Salem United Methodist Church.
Yes.
But we are still in the middle of this. The numbers are still rising, and we have to maintain our diligence to make sure that we do.
We really do. Yes. Thank you so much for that update, Pastor.
You're very welcome.
Coming up next, the importance of voting. We'll be right back right after this.
Father God, Lord Jesus, the creator of heaven and the earth, we come before you right now. Somebody called you a burden bearer. Somebody called you a heavy load carrier. Somebody called you a wheel in the middle of a wheel. But I'd like to call you the creator of all things right now. For you put a leaf on a limb, and a limb on a branch, and a branch on a tree, and the tree on some roots, and the roots in the dirt, and the dirt in a hole, and the hole in the ground, and the green grass grew all around and around. The green grass grew all around Jesus. Now I want to thank you for chicken. Thank God for chicken.
Mary Ellen Pleasant. After being born a slave, she ended up becoming one of the first female millionaires ever during the gold rush era, which in turn led her to financially supporting the Underground Railroad, funding numerous slave revolts, and even providing countless African Americans with housings, loans, jobs, and even helped fight their legal battles, aka freed the homies. Anna Murray. Anna was a free woman who met an enslaved man by the name of Fred. Anna stole clothes from her job, dressed Fred as a sailor, and helped him escape to New York, where he became one of the greatest slave abolitionists of all time, Fred being Frederick Douglass, if ride or die was a person. Queen Nanny, kidnapped from Africa as a child, forced into slavery in Jamaica, she ended up leading the Maroons to destroy the British in the battle, where she ended up freeing over 800 slaves in 30 years, and now her face is on a Jamaican $500 bill. Elizabeth Freeman overheard the Constitution being read aloud and heard the part that stood out to her in particular. Every man is born free and equal. She went and hired a pro-abolition lawyer. One day, when the glory comes,
yes, we can.
It will be ours. It will be ours.
Welcome back. Well, we know that this is a crucial time.
Absolutely.
It's very, very crucial, voting. So
Absolutely.
We've got to discuss this.
This is not only a crucial time, Marie, it is an historic time.
It is historic. Yes, it is.
Because for the first time, we have an African-American woman on the ticket with a very good chance of becoming the first black female vice president, the first female vice president ever, who happens to also be a black woman. So we're very excited. My mother, who is a dedicated and devoted AKA, is beside herself. And so shout out to all the Greeks out there. And you know what you need to do. Yes. And what we need to do is to vote.
That's it.
Right. So traditionally, you may have seen at John Lewis's funeral, Barack Obama talked about we no longer have to count the number of beans in a jelly bean jar in order to vote.
That's right.
What he was referring to were institutional blocks that impediments people put in the way of people voting because they didn't want black people to vote.
Right.
They didn't want our vote to count.
Right.
And believe me, this year is no different. They don't want you to vote. In fact, they would have you believe that the only time that you can vote is November the 3rd, but I'm here to tell you that you can start voting right now.
Yes.
Systematically, if we all wait to show up in line on November the 3rd, that brings a lot of problems to bear.
It does.
All right?
It does.
And it makes it very easy for the administration to create a bottleneck at the polls.
Right.
One of the ways that they do that is they put broken voting machines
Yes.
in the precincts. They reduce the number of precincts, especially in African American and Latinx communities, so that more people are waiting in longer lines for fewer machines that work. We saw that during the primaries.
Right, exactly.
So don't be fooled. They are trying to restrict how you vote and to keep you away from the polls. But the African American church has always played a pivotal role in getting what we call the souls to the polls.
Yes.
What souls to the polls really means is that at one time, early voting extended through the Sunday before the election. And so the Sunday before the election, pastors would get the entire congregation up, and on the soles of their feet, they would walk to the polls and vote on Sunday. Well, of course, you know what they did. They stopped people from voting on Sundays. They restricted the effectiveness of our souls to the polls. Well, I say what we do is we cover our feet, and instead of walking to the polls, we take our socks to the box.
All right.
Socks to the box, that's right. And to the box, I mean the mailbox. Right now, you can early vote in the state of Texas, and I'm going to tell you how to get that done. First, in order to qualify for early voting and mail-in voting, to get your application and to submit your application, you have to meet one of four criteria. One, you must be 65 years of age or older. So, see, Marie? No, never mind. And then, so you're not 65, so that doesn't apply to you.
No, not yet.
Okay. Or you have to have a disability. And I'm sorry, Marie, mental health disabilities don't count. Again.
Like yours. No, we're playing, but we're serious, y'all. Come get him, somebody.
Okay, that's
anyway.
2. 65 years or older, or with a disability, or if you are confined in jail, if you're going to be in prison at that time, which could happen to anyone while
really
you're
could,
driving while black.
Amen,
all right?
Jesus.
Or finally, if you expect to be absent from Orange County on election day. Now, my parents live in Harris County.
Right.
I'm liable to be in Harris County on election day, so I qualify to get one of these applications. The application is right here. I printed one up. It's a postcard, and you can get it online, print it up, and we, of course, will show you online right now, on the screen right now, where you can go to get this. And it has all of the rules on one side, and you can see you can mail it with the return mail, and it says to send it to your early voting clerk. All right. The early voting clerk in Orange County is the elections administrator, and her name is Tina Jo Barrow. Her mailing address, her physical address, is at 206 Border here in Orange. Mm-hmm. All right. The mailing address is 123 South 6th Street in Orange, Texas, 77630. If you want to call her at 903-882-7973.
Say that again, Pastor. That's 409.
409-882-7973. And you can submit these applications not only by mailing them in, but you can fax and email them in, and the instructions on how to do so are printed on the back of the application. So you can take this application personally into an early voting, to the early voting location where Miss Barrow is on Border Street.
Yes.
Or you can put it in the mailbox, or you can email it, or you can fax it into her office. All of that information is available here on the screen, and I please ask you to not wait.
Right.
Please do not wait until November 3rd or until early voting to vote. The members of Salem United Methodist Church oftentimes are older than 65, disabled, and you travel a lot. There's a good chance that you may be out of town on November the 3rd. So if that applies to you, please get your application now. And as soon as you receive it, fill it out and mail it in that day. The sooner we get these ballots into the mail, the less chance of them being caught in a bottleneck on November the 3rd, on the first Tuesday of November. And we will make sure that all of our votes are counted and that we are not subject to any type of voter intimidation or voter restrictions on the way that our votes are counted.
That's right. Thank you so much for this information, very important information. Please remember to vote and encourage others to do so. You know, I was thinking the other day, we can discuss and we can fuss with others all day, but at the end of it all, the only thing that really counts is your vote.
That's right.
Your vote is your voice. So make sure that you encourage others to please vote. Thank you so much for that, Pastor.
Make history.
We'll be right back right after this. Now for this week's announcements. A special thank you to the members of our youth choir and our adult choir for a job well done in pre-recording music for the month of August. Thank you all, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you. Well, the study of God's Word is still going on at Salem United Methodist Church. On Sundays at 10 a.m. for Sunday school, and on Wednesday evenings at 6 o'clock p.m. for Bible study. Both of these are via Zoom. Please tune in. We want to take this time to encourage each and every one of you to vote. It is very important. Remember, your vote is your voice. Viewers for our August 9th service was 32. Please remember to share our services with your family, with your friends, and on your social media pages. The offering for August 9th was $1,385. We thank you so much for your continued support of Salem United Methodist Church. May God bless each and every one of you.
My friend, if you can't do push-ups, just like with everything else in the world, you can build up. Let me help. There's no reason to be ashamed if you can't do a push-up. Fitness is a journey and we all start somewhere. Plus, there are many kinds of push-ups. So we find one we can do, and we work it until we're strong enough to move on. We can start with some wall push-ups. Aim for 3 sets of 50. The reason you're doing so many is so you can practice your pushing motion. Next, we can do incline push-ups on a railing, table, or any stable surface. The lower the object, the harder. I recommend starting with something at least higher than your hips. Work these until you can do 3 sets of 40. Next, we finally go back to the ground, and we can do kneeling push-ups. And no, I never call these girl push-ups. This is a great therapy exercise that we don't need to shame, and I've never met a girl that likes them being called that. Anyway, work these until you can do 2 sets of 25. And then you should be strong enough to do a regular full push-up. Congratulations! If you start getting joint pain, you may have progressed too quickly. Go back to some of the easier variations. Sometimes our muscles are strong enough to move on, but our joints are not. If you're interested, I have a full YouTube video on this that I'll link in the comments. Have a beautiful day.
Hi guys, I'm Bella Bright and this is Miss Marie Sanders and this is the workout segment. So today we are going to do modified push-ups. This is supposed to prep you to be able to do a real push-up. So first you have to do is start with a wall push-up. So you have to be about arm's length away and your arms straight out. So whenever you do this, you just do what a regular push-up would do. You do this, Very easy.
Wow.
You do this every day, 3 reps of 50, until you graduate to the chair.
Okay.
So chairs tend to move whenever you push on it, so I recommend you putting it next to a wall so you don't hurt yourself. I don't want to be the cause of that, so please don't yell at me if it happens. Okay. This one is a tad bit harder, but it's totally fine. You do this every day, 2 reps of 40.
Okay.
You have to be straight out like this, like that.
Wow.
Really hard. But by the time that you finish that, it'll be nice and easy.
Right. The more you do
Now,
it.
we are going to go to our kneeling push-up. This is very familiar. This is the only push-up I did for a very long time. Okay. Okay. So this one is just like this kind, but you put both your knees down and cross your ankles.
I'm glad I forgot my
I
clothes.
forgot. Okay, one more time. Okay. Now, I'll just go ahead. This push-up is just like the regular kind, except for you put both your knees down and cross your legs.
Wow.
Make sure your back is straight, and then you just do some push-ups. Now this one, you do this every day, 2 reps of 25. And then eventually you'll graduate to the full length push-up, which I can't do now, but I will be able to do soon. So stay in tune for that. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this and you'll learn a new skill during this quarantine. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Welcome back. And I'm joined by Ms. Bijou Wright for our favorite segment, the food segment. Yes, so tell us what we have today. There's a little cake.
Yes, today we have a little honey cake. This is a really easy cake to make. All you need is 1 whole egg and 2 yolks, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 2 tablespoons.
Wow. That, And it smells so good, you all. We baked it right. Well, they baked it. I didn't do anything. I just get to taste it. But it was baking right here in the church, and it smells amazing.
It smells pretty good.
So why wait?
Yes.
You want to do it this time? You want me to do it?
You can go ahead.
I surely will. Let's see. What we're going to do is kind of go around a little bit with this. And this was a Pyrex little pan. It cuts very easily. Uh-oh. Well, I need like a spatula or something.
Yeah, but you know, it's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's
the taste that matters.
It's the taste, honey. Honey cake.
Honey cake.
Honey cake. Honey pie, honey cake. I'm greedy, so I want a little more. Okay, there you are.
I'll just cut my... You know.
Yours came out better than mine.
Yeah, I guess.
I wonder why. Because I was trying to hurry. Okay, let's see. Here goes. Okay. Now see. I would like this with my coffee in the morning. Oh yeah.
This is good. It's kind of like a spongy cake.
Almost like a sponge cake consistency. Not overly sweet. But it's really good.
It has a good flavor. It's a nice little snack.
It really is. You know I'm greedy. I want the little ice cream with it too. I don't have coffee. Is there some blue out there? This is really good. So this is called a honey cake. Very, very simple. It took, I think, 14 minutes to make, maybe something like that. It's really, really good. So try this honey cake, okay? Okay, I'm going to finish my honey cake. So until next